We're going to bring in Lieutenant General Steph Twitty now. He is the former deputy commander of the United States European Command. Lieutenant General, good morning to you. We are seeing the U.S. and Europe reacting to Russia's suspected war crimes with this new round of sanctions. President Biden now has, on multiple occasions, called Putin a war criminal. Is this changing or ramping up the U.S. response to the conflict? And do you think the administration is doing enough to support Ukraine?
Two questions there. First of all, short of putting U.S. boots on the ground and NATO boots on the ground, you have to ratchet up the sanctions, and I think we're headed in the right direction there. We heard yesterday that the EU put a ban on Russian coal. They're now having serious conversations about banning Russian oil. Many Russian diplomats were expelled out of countries yesterday. And so we're moving in the right direction with sanctions, and there are more sanctions to come. The next piece is we have to continue to supply the Ukrainians with weapons. We're doing that well, but what I will tell you is we need to apply more weapons that are offensive in nature. Javelin is a great weapon system. I've used it throughout my military career. The Stinger. All those things are great, but they're defensive in nature. As we go into this next phase of fighting, this is going to be a tough fight for the Ukrainians. I'm more of the opinion that we need to put the MiGs in there to give them some offensive firepower. And if you put that offensive firepower, you could keep the Russians out of the cities because you can fight them on the depth and breadth of the battlefield, and they don't even have to even get into the cities if you have offensive in nature weapons. And then the final thing that I will tell you is we have to get an international war crimes investigation in Ukraine. The Russians need to be held accountable, and we need to get that going.
And it does sound like that is underway with the UN sending investigators there. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff gave a pretty stark assessment of the conflict in Ukraine yesterday. Take a listen.
I do think this is a very protracted conflict, and I think it's at least measured in years. I don't know about decade, but at least years for sure. This is a very extended conflict that Russia has initiated, and I think that NATO, the United States, Ukraine, and all of the allies and partners that are supporting Ukraine are going to be involved in this for quite some time.
He said quite some time. What do you think about General Milley's assessment, and what do you think it could mean for the U.S. military's involvement in this region going forward after this conflict?
Well, I absolutely agree with his assessment. When you go into combat, you want to fight the opponent's military, not the civilian population. Because when you start fighting the civilian population, like what has occurred here with the Russians attacking the civilian people, you're making all those civilians mad. And the last thing you want to do is make new enemies. And Russia has made a lot of enemies over Bucha, and we're going to find other places. And what's going to happen is there's going to be insurgency that's going to come out of this, because the Ukrainians will never forgive the Russians for this. So you can see a protracted war here in the makings.
But do you think it's the U.S. role to be the peacekeeper in that region, or to stay there and have a presence?
Well, let's not forget, we are a part of NATO. There are 30 countries a part of NATO. So we do have a role to get to to assist in getting to some type of diplomatic resolution. We'll have a role to continue to supply the Ukrainians with weapons and so forth. So I can see the U.S. being involved at some measure here for the foreseeable future.
Lieutenant General Steph Twitty, with your depth of military knowledge and insight, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.